Hello, hello, this is Chris Park, and this is the third dev diary for In Case of Emergency Release Raptor, and second one with videos. So what you may be noticing already is that the Raptor looks fairly different in terms of the texture that's in use. The shader is different as well, and it has a different idle animation. It's been completely re-rigged by Blue, and then also completely reanimated. This particular idle animation is not the one that's going to stick. It's a little bit on the stiff side, but not too bad. Um, so one of the first things that you will likely notice is just how different it is with new sound effects here. No more explosions. Instead, you've got some nice shattering effects. We've got some Raptor sound effects as well. We've got ourselves some adjusted lighting here. You can see that the bright light that illuminates the Raptor is now a lot less severe than it was before. Now it actually just illuminates certain parts of the terrain instead. There's a second light now that's illuminating the Raptor and pretty much everything, so you can see a little bit of the floor and things aren't so disconnected. The Raptor now has much more of a wet look to it. The HBAO horizon-based ambient occlusion is now substantially better, so that it is not causing kind of a weird blurriness near his feet and a few other things. There was a color bleed on that one, which just wasn't working out as I had hoped. Reverb zones help to make the different sections of the level feel really different. This area is a little more open. These areas are a little more dull, much more cavernous there. Pretty much completely redone sound effects on a lot of things. There's a whole new sound system in use as well, using sector audio. There's some changes that I'm making to that also. Remind you, this is just a temporary level. It's poorly optimized. And then things like, falling over a cliff forever won't be a thing in the real game there. You can see that you can actually see into this corner now. Instead of it being just absolutely pitch dark, it looks a little more natural now. When you get in here and you start seeing the animations, for one thing though, you can see how just moving a little bit is a lot more natural. You get some pretty cool head bobbing. The walk animation being out of sync when it goes too far is unfortunate. Didn't mean for that to happen, but with short steps and with the running, it works well. You can see when he jumps, she jumps, whatever. There's both a more natural kick up and then also this awesome little landing sequence that Blue did, and that really makes such a difference in terms of how organic the Raptor feels compared to what it used to be. We already have something that makes you kind of leap forward, and that looks better now too. And it now has sound effects. And so she came up with this leap kick, which is just super cool in my opinion. And so that's been a big improvement. Right now there's only one of those animations, but there's going to be more. The bite animations, right now there's only one, and there are some changes that need to be made to that as well, but it is general idea anyway. Roars. A lot more fun. Tail slap here. That actually has a full animation now for the first time, which is really nice. It even turns the feet. Let's see if you can see. Very ballerina-like in a lot of ways. So that's pretty cool. I don't have any ambient sounds that are just kind of hanging out, like pipes hissing and things like that. I was working on that, but I didn't actually like the way that that's implemented in sector audio, and so that's something that I'm going to be working on fixing. This is using high dynamic range audio, which is really great for the audio mixing. We're also using, like I said, the reverb zones. It's positional 3D audio. Then the Raptor starts breathing heavier, and that's something that is a little too loud right now. There's some errors with how the loudness stuff works at present, and that's something that I need to fix. It's possibly not actually bugs per se in sector audio, but it's counter to how I need it to work. So one way or another, I'm gonna fix that. Let's see. Using Beautify now, which gives some extra crispness as well to pretty much everything. You can see the details in things like the doors, and you don't have to be like really zoomed in to see it. It's there even at a glance. It's funny what a big difference that makes. I'm also actually doing a second pass of filtering now as well, of FXAA on top of the DLAA. For anti-aliasing that I'm doing. It's funny because I'm doing the DLAA, then doing Beautify, then doing FXAA. Relatively inexpensive in terms of like CPU or processing power, and it really helps give just a really precise result. Some of the screen space reflections were leading to some little flickering particles that bugged me, and this got rid of that. Basically 4 working days since I showed you some stuff. A lot of progress. I wanted to have more in a few other areas, but we had yet more website issues. Unfortunately, the audio work has taken me a little bit longer than I expected as well, because I wound up going with a lot more robust of a solution than I had expected. But that's one of those things that I think really helps add to the immersion. And then I hadn't planned on actually going with the Raptor vocalizations yet, but I felt like that was also necessary. I'm not really 100% sold on how these particular Raptor vocalizations sound, so we may do some more sound work to make them a little better. It took Blue and myself quite a bit of time to figure out the some of the things with Maya and getting the animations over here properly for the new rig. So that again was another time sink. I know it's only been like 4 working days, but I still feel like more should have happened during this particular time period. So it's frustrating. I spent some time working on some custom shaders as well, using lots more things to come. A lot of the different like consoles and so forth can be destroyed now, and lights that couldn't before. And so more sound work is coming, more things that are able to be destroyed, getting into the enemies, getting into the actual procedural levels being assembled,
Yeah.
looping sounds that are like hissing pipes and things, and then also getting into sound occlusion by
Right.
some custom stuff that I'll be working on. Anyway, that's the update. Thanks for watching.